everyone, welcome to Deepikamakeup. Hope you're all doing super awesome. So, I'm on a major mission to declutter my stash. I need some space in my cabinet. I'm not willing to just, buy another cabinet and fill that up. So, I'm on a major mission to declutter. So, I decluttered my nail polish yesterday. I posted all the updates on my Snapchat. If you're not following me there, you can do. If you're interested, it's Deepikamakeup. So, in this video, I'm actually going to declutter my palettes. These are the bigger palettes, and honestly I don't really have that many, and I feel like I won't be able to declutter a lot today, because with palettes I don't just get them on a whim. I put in a lot of thought for them. So all these palettes I really enjoy. So technically this video is going to just show my palette collection and declutter if I can any. So let's begin. So first I'll start with my Urban Decay palettes. I have three. The first one I have here is a Naked Tree palette. I really enjoy it. I have a couple of shadows in here that I wear to work very often. Really simple. I'm not really a great fan of the whole palette, but I do enjoy some colors in here. I actually use this palette so much that the pans are actually coming off, and I didn't expect Urban Decay palette to do that, but yeah, I'm just gonna put super glue and stick them in. My favorite colors in here are Liar, definitely like a very good all over lid color. I really love Buzz, and I use Limit as my transition color. So I really enjoy this palette, so I'm gonna keep this. The next one I have here is Urban Decay Ammo palette. I honestly didn't use this. I think I used like a couple of times, but I'm still gonna keep this palette because this palette was put together with one of their best sellers and one of their favorite eyeshadows. So all these 10 eyeshadows are the best sellers from Urban Decay. So I got it for like just $10 on a sale or something. So yeah, I am going to keep this outside, so I remember I'm going to use it, but yeah, I'm going to keep that one. See, I told you I'm not going to get rid of anything of these. The next one I have here is Urban Decay Pulp Fiction palette. Honestly, I can get rid of it. Really, this one is a matte eyeshadow palette. We have 5 colors right here. Really pigmented, very soft and beautiful. Just that perfect transition and all the matte colors you need to do your eye makeup. So I really love this palette. But I have a Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, which has all matte neutral eyeshadows. I have my Lorac Pro palette. So I'm gonna get rid of it, but I don't know. I'm just gonna keep this on hold actually. I'm not sure. I used it a couple of times. I really enjoyed it. Especially I like to take this while I'm traveling. Like take this palette, and along with that I throw in like a couple of colorful single eyeshadows, and I'll be done with eyeshadows. So that's the main purpose I like this palette for. I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna just put it on hold. Like if I have a relative or friend who wants it, I'll just give it away, but otherwise I'll just keep it for myself. Alright, the next one I have here, I'm going to talk about some Lorac palettes. The first one I have here are Lorac 1 and Lorac 2. Lorac Pro palette, this is my all-time favorite eyeshadow palette. If anyone asks me what's your favorite eyeshadow palette, without even giving it a single thought, I just tell them to buy this one, and it's my favorite. This is completely beaten up, and I really enjoy every single shadow in this one. Definitely, if you want to get one single neutral palette, definitely give this a try. Like it's the perfect and a very versatile palette. And then comes the Lorac 2, and I got this like for a really good price on hsn.com, and I think I paid like $20, which is half the price. And I honestly never even touched this palette. Like, did you ever see me doing any looks with this? Because I completely forgot I have it. Like, dump, right? So with Lorac Pro, I have tons and tons of tutorials on my channel. I'll leave that playlist in the description box below. But with Lorac 2, alright, only today I remember that I have this. For somehow I totally forgot. It's untouched, brand new. So I'm going to keep this outside so I use it. But honestly, this palette doesn't really excite me at all, like really. I don't know. I just have to play around with this to see if I really like it or not. But honestly, just by looking at it, um, it doesn't really excite me. The colors, I feel like they look ashy on me. So yeah, I'll play around and I'll keep you posted on that one. But yeah, the next one I have here is Lorac Unzipped palette. I was dying to get this palette, and Shams from Shams Makeup Artistry, my friend, she gave me this palette, and I was like, oh my god, I was literally jumping around when she gave this. And I used this couple of times. I really enjoyed this. If you are on my channel, you know that rose gold and coral are my favorite, and this is a rose gold palette. I really enjoy it, and I honestly have to say that I haven't really used it much. I think I used like 5 or 6 times in the past 1 year, but I'm gonna use it. I really like this palette. Alright, keeping that one. So far I haven't got rid of any palette, so I told you this video is going to be more like a palette collection than declutter. Alright, the next one I have here is Lorac Little Black palette. I can get rid of it actually. I haven't even touched this palette, and when I saw this palette when it was initially released like 3 or 4 years ago, I love the quality of the palette, like the shadows, and I still like the quality. But I actually got this on a sale, like for a very good price, maybe for like $10 or $15. So I just got it, but honestly, I didn't even touch it. Like it comes with a primer here, but yeah, I didn't even touch this palette. Reason being, I completely forgot that I have it. The thing with palettes is I really enjoy palettes more than single eye shadows. I tend to use more palettes, but if I have any palette outside on my vanity, I just go for that one. I don't even open the drawer and try to work with any other palette. So that's the main drawback with me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep like 2 or 3 palettes on my vanity every single month. I keep rotating them, so I get to use whatever I have. The next one I have here is Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I always use this ever since this was a gift, like a birthday gift from my friend Richa, and ever since I got this is the only palette I use to highlight, contour, and bronze up my face. I always use this in my tutorials. Like, this is my staple palette. I made a very good dent in these pans, so really enjoy this palette. The next one I have here is Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette, and honestly, I'm gonna say I don't really enjoy this palette as much. I don't know if the reason is because I don't reach for it much, but just by looking at it, I know that I'm going to really enjoy this palette. But for some reason, it's been like around 8 or 9 months I got this palette, and ever since, I think I used it once or twice. That's it. It's always on top of my vanity. Trust me, this and the contour palette, they both are always on top of my vanity. But for some reason, I never reached to this palette. But it's a new palette. It's been just like I got it in April or May, I believe. So it's a new palette. So I'm gonna give it a chance and see if I'll use it or not. If I want my matte blending colors, I might as well go for the Urban Decay Pulp Fiction or my Lorac Pro. I'm happy with them, but yeah, I'm gonna see. Anyways, I'll be decluttering after 6 months again. So if I don't use this palette by then, I'm just going to give this away. So the next one I have here is It Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. Packaging is really good, but I keep that in the original box because it's a velvet, like a cloth kind of a thing, so it gets dirty really easily. Initially when I got this, I really enjoyed this palette. Like, I was obsessed with this palette that I actually got one for you guys as well. I'll include that in a giveaway soon. So that's how much I loved it. But honestly, like, I cannot use all the colors in this palette. There are very specific, like 5 or 6 colors in this palette that I can use. So the rest of the colors are gonna go waste. If I use the other colors, they kind of look muddy on my eyes. So yeah, I I like the quality. I like some colors in this, but definitely this is not the palette that I love. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, it's just been like less than a year that I got this one. So the next one I have here is the Balm Nude Tude palette, the ever so famous Balm Nude Tude palette. And honestly, I don't really like this palette. After using these many palettes, I don't feel that this is the best palette at all. But there are some beautiful colors in this, and I really enjoy this palette. It's not that I don't like it. I do use it a lot actually, and I use some of these eyeshadows to work as well. So I really enjoy this palette, but it's not the best palette out there. Definitely Lorac Pro is way better than this one. But the next couple of things I have here are Anastasia palettes. This one is a Tamanna palette. I honestly didn't like this palette at all. I did a review on this palette, and a lot of people actually love this palette, but for some reason I didn't really enjoy it. Like, this one looks very silvery and muddy against my skin, and yeah, I really like Bengal in this palette. It's a beautiful transition color, but for some reason this is not my favorite palette. Like, it's good, it comes with a really nice brush, but yeah, and somehow I didn't really like it. But just by looking at it now, I feel I like it. So after I did the review on this, and after I mentioned that I didn't like it, I just stopped using it completely. So I'm gonna keep it actually, because it's just been less than a year, so I won't be doing justice if I get rid of it. Next one I have here is the Shadow Couture World Traveler palette by Anastasia. It's my favorite palette. I did I believe couple of looks with this. I got this very recently, like couple of months ago. Ever since I got this is my hands down my favorite palette. Like after Lorac Pro palette, this one is going to be my favorite. So I love this, so definitely keep in that one. I think this is still available at Sephora for $28. These palettes are really well priced for the colors, for the quality of the eyeshadows you get. Anastasia palettes are very well priced, so I really like that. So definitely keep in that one. The next one I have here is Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and this is the original, like the chocolate bar palette, and after that they came out with semi-sweet palette. I like this palette a lot. I did use this palette a lot. There are some shades that I gave a good dent to, so I really enjoy it. It does really smell like chocolate, but it's more like a chemically chocolate smell. So yeah, I like this palette. It's a beautiful palette. Just with this palette I can travel and I won't miss any eyeshadow colors. So really like that. And did you notice I always keep my makeup in these original boxes? I'm just weird like that. So that's that. Alright, the next one I have here is again a Too Faced palette. This I got I believe in 2013. It was a holiday palette, and Too Faced always comes with a palette like this every single year, and I must say it's totally worth it. If you see this palette, like similar kind, I want to say, it's definitely worth the value. So I don't have the other little pieces that came with, but I have the pouch, and that's the palette. It's really pretty, and beautiful eyeshadows, beautiful eyeshadows. And you get a peach blush, pink blush, their very famous Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and Sun Bunny highlighter. So this shadows, especially this color, oh my god, it's to die for. It's called Party Time. Yeah, I love this palette. I use this palette a lot. I don't use this in my videos only because this is not available. It's a limited edition palette, and I don't want to show, you know, things that are not available for you guys. So that's the reason I don't use it in my videos, but on a daily basis I do use this palette. The next one I have here is Morphe Brushes Jaclyn Hill palette. Trust me guys, this is, oh my god, this really blew my mind. These eyeshadows are phenomenal, and Jaclyn Hill did a very good job in covering matte neutrals, some shimmery neutrals, some pop of colors at the end here, so you can just travel with this palette and you won't miss any eyeshadow. So I love this palette. Like, I don't know what these eyeshadows does, so whenever I use these eyeshadows I feel like my eye area is creaseless, like completely flawless. So I don't know what these eyeshadows does, but they are really beautiful, very pigmented, and they're really good. They came out with the palette called 3500, and I almost wanted to buy it, but since I have a lot of makeup I thought, I just have to give it up. But the next one I have here is my Inglot palette, and I custom made this palette actually, and these were their old design of palettes which are in the round shape, and they say that you can get these palettes out like this using this magnet, but yeah, you can't really pull them out, so that's the reason I actually had to tape the shade names right here. Honestly, I really like these neutral shades right here. This matte black is very good, and I have like a beautiful highlighter right here. Now somehow I didn't use this palette much. I didn't really do much justice to this palette. I made a newer palette with Inglot eyeshadows which I enjoy more than this palette, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Alright, the next one I have here is my new Inglot palette, and this one I made like around this year when I went to IMAX. I got some from the makeup show, and I made this palette, and I really enjoy this palette. It has some beautiful like, what do I say, blending colors, highlighter, and some pop of colors, and I really enjoy this palette more than the previous one, so I'm going to keep this one and I'm going to get rid of that one. Next couple of palettes I have here are from Sephora. I used to have this big palette that they came out for holidays last year. It's called the Sephora Artist Palette, and I actually gave it to my aunt when she came here in July. I think I also gave like a City Colors palette to them. Anyways, these are two Sephora eyeshadow palettes, and honestly these shadows are really good, and I can't even describe how much of pain I went through to actually find these palettes and get them. But trust me, I haven't even used these palettes at all. I didn't do justice at all. Like, it comes with a beautiful big mirror, and those are the shades. This one is for brown eyes, beautiful matte purple, and oh my god, this palette is really good, and the colors are really pigmented, and you get eyeliner, a brown eyeliner, which I never even touched. So I'm gonna get rid of this palette. Even the green eyes one, they're still in the original packaging actually. So the green eyes one actually is really even more beautiful. So yeah, the green eyes one, oh my god, this olive green color is really beautiful. The burgundy color, yeah, beautiful palettes. And yeah, honestly I keep forgetting that I have palettes. That's the issue with me. I just tuck them away whenever I get them. I just tuck them away in the drawer, and then I completely forget, just get comfortable with the palettes that I always love, and I keep using them. That was the main issue with me. So anyways, I'm getting rid of both of those palettes. We are almost to the end of I just have like 3 or 4 more. Next one I have here is Sigma Date palette, and I use this palette all the time. I really like the brush here. This comes with Sigma E20 and E45. E45 is my favorite brush, and I use this palette a lot, especially in fall. The colors you can see is more like a fall theme, so I really enjoy this palette, so I'm going to keep this one. Alright, what next? Alright, the next one I have here is this palette. These palettes actually, my friend makes these palettes for me with cardboard and magnets. So this has all my old eyeshadows. All the little eyeshadows that you see here are from my Ulta palette, and these big square ones right here, as you can see, like they're gonna fall off, are from some elf palette, and I have like 3 Maybelline eyeshadows. Honestly, I never ever use them. I thought if I depot them and put it in a palette I would use, but never even touched these. These are really old. Some of them even lack in pigmentation, so I'm just gonna throw everything away in trash, and I'm gonna keep the palette and fill it up with some other eyeshadows. The next one I have here is the Star palette, and it has like little palette inside here, and I got this huge set of QVC last year, and me and my friend shared the set actually, because I don't need more Tarte blushes, so I just gave them away, and it came with bunch of different things. So this one is the palette. I haven't touched this palette till now, trust me, it's untouched, but I really like the colors, so I'm gonna keep it outside and use it. And also it came with like a bunch of these eyeliners and mascara and all that, so I'm gonna get rid of eyeliners and mascara, so I'm just gonna keep that palette. The next thing I have here is the Stila palette, and this is Dream in Full Color palette. I believe I don't remember which year they came with. It's a beautiful palette, and I think I used like 3 or 4 times, that's it. And most of these blushes are actually untouched. It came with a highlighter, a bronzer, and bunch of different beautiful colors like this olive green, and this royal blue was my favorite. I even created a look with that one, and it has the very famous Stila's kitten right here, so I didn't even do any good justice to this palette. I was really excited when I got it, but yeah, I didn't use it much, so I'm just gonna get rid of this one. Alright, the next one I have here is like a little palette which has like 3-4 eyeshadows. These are the shadows that I use all the time, and I have some other in my those coral boxes, so I'm just gonna bring them all and keep in this palette and use it as my everyday eyeshadow palette. It has shadows from the Wet n Wild Vanity palette, which is discontinued, and it's one of my very favorite palettes. Last one I have here is the Z palette, and it has all these Makeup Geek eyeshadows, and these neutral ones are Elizabeth Arden. This is a Sugar Pill eyeshadow. I have an Inglot rainbow eyeshadow, and these two are from Michael Marcus. Honestly, I don't know the hype about Makeup Geek eyeshadows. Honestly, maybe I think I got a bad batch, but oh my god, the matte eyeshadows, Simply Marlena, Cocoa Bear, and I don't know what this is, Chickadee. Horrible pigmentation, very powdery, and I don't know how people talk good about these eyeshadows. Trust me, I think I got a bad bad batch, but I reported about these eyeshadows to the company. They never ever responded, so that actually created a very bad impression for me, so I'm never gonna buy Makeup Geek eyeshadows. Honestly, I was so tempted to buy the dual chrome ones that they came out recently, but somehow about the way they handled it, I didn't really like it, so yeah, that's that. So that's my palette collection, and I'm just getting rid of 4 palettes, and I'm going to throw away this palette. So it's okay, I have a lot of room in my palette drawer actually. I'm not really that desperate to get rid of a lot of palettes. As I mentioned, these palettes were bought with a lot of thought, so I have some connection with them. So that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments below what you want me to declutter next. I'm thinking more of like small palettes and single eye shadows or blushes, so let me know in the comment box below. So that's pretty much it. If you want to see looks with any of these palettes, do let me know, and please hit on the thumbs up button if you like this video. It makes me so happy, and I will see you all very soon. Goodbye.